Everyone says history is silent, but some pasts never let go. In the small town of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a historic inn stands as a silent witness to horrors that refuse to rest. For over a century, guests and staff have reported events so terrifying that logic seems powerless against them. It begins subtly. Shadows that linger just a moment too long in the corners of rooms, cold spots that make your breath visible even on summer nights, and mirrors that reflect faces that aren't there. The first visitors who stayed overnight noticed a chill that wasn't explained by the weather, a weight on their chest as if something unseen pressed down while they slept. One woman awoke at midnight, startled by the faint sound of footsteps pacing outside her door. Summoning courage, she opened it, but the hallway was empty. The wooden floorboards were cold and creaked as if someone had just passed by, yet no one could be found. As days passed, the disturbances escalated. Objects moved without explanation. Chairs shifted slightly, cups overturned, and doors closed softly yet firmly, as though guided by invisible hands. Guests reported the unnerving sensation of being watched, a sudden prickling at the back of the neck, the inexplicable feeling of eyes following their every move. Some even spoke of shadows that moved just out of the corner of vision, disappearing the instant they turned to look. Whispers filled the rooms, sometimes unintelligible, sometimes unmistakably resembling the sound of a child laughing, followed immediately by an oppressive silence that left hearts pounding. The inn's walls, worn and aged, seemed to breathe with the echoes of past events. Even the bravest visitors experienced a heaviness in the air, a suffocating presence that made it impossible to ignore. Guests tried to dismiss it as imagination, but even skeptics couldn't explain the eerie cold spots, the lights flickering at random, or the sensation of unseen observers in every room. Many reported sleepless nights, dreams haunted by fleeting figures and murmurs, unable to find comfort even in daylight. By the time visitors gathered the courage to explore the upper floors, they were met with more chilling experiences. Hallways that should have been empty appeared crowded with shadows. Corners held shapes that moved against the light, and rooms that were supposedly vacant gave off a sense of occupancy, as if unseen eyes were watching their every step. The inn had a history, a past drenched in stories of people long gone, but somehow very much present. Every creak, every sigh of the old building, every flicker of candlelight seemed to remind guests that the line between past and present was not as solid as it seemed, and that something in Gettysburg was waiting. By midnight, the atmosphere in the Gettysburg Inn became almost unbearable. Guests who had hoped the disturbances were coincidences now faced undeniable evidence of something otherworldly. Cold spots seemed to follow them from room to room, and shadows stretched unnaturally, lingering even when there was no light source. One visitor recounted standing at the foot of a staircase, noticing a dark figure just beyond the doorway. As he blinked, it vanished, leaving only a faint chill and the creaking of floorboards echoing through the hall. Whispers persisted in empty corridors, sometimes forming words that were impossible to understand, other times sounding like desperate calls for help, or chilling laughter that seemed both playful and cruel. The longer guests stayed, the more the inn revealed its secrets. Doors slammed without warning, lights flickered and dimmed, and mirrors reflected fleeting shapes that weren't there when turned to face them. Some visitors reported a sudden pressure on their shoulders, as if an unseen presence leaned too close, their heart pounding in panic while the room remained empty. Even those with nerves of steel felt watched, sensing eyes that followed their movements across every hall and every room. The line between reality and the shadows blurred. Each creak of wood, each whisper of wind, seemed to carry intention, as if the building itself were alive with the memories of spirits who refused to leave. Despite the fear, guests were drawn back to the inn, compelled by curiosity or thrill-seeking. Some arrived seeking adventure, others hoping to confront the unknown, but all left with the same haunting impression. They were being observed, studied, and perhaps even judged by forces beyond comprehension. Over time, the stories spread beyond Gettysburg, reaching listeners who had never set foot in the town, yet felt a shiver run down their spines upon hearing of the inn's restless spirits. Even today, the Gettysburg Inn stands as a monument to the unseen. Empty rooms wait for the next visitor. Corridors echo with whispers, and shadows creep along the walls as if anticipating the arrival of new souls. Those who dare enter are reminded that the past never truly dies, that some presences linger far longer than human memory allows. And as night falls over the small Pennsylvania town, locals and travelers alike claim they can hear the faintest footsteps, the softest whispers, and feel a cold gaze that follows them long after they have left. The Gettysburg Inn is a house that watches, a place where the dead are never silent, and where the next guest may discover that some spirits are patient, and eternity has only begun for those who cross its threshold. Thanks for watching Whisper of Dark. If this story sent chills down your spine, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We explore the darkest mysteries, unsolved crimes, and terrifying tales every week.